Next up, at UFC 309, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have a rematch. Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira taking on Michael Chandler. Charles Oliveira, 34-10 in his career. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision loss to Arman Tsarukyan. He's taking on Michael Chandler, 23-8 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that canceled Conor McGregor fight. This is a rematch. The first fight ended with Charles Johnson finishing Michael Chandler. Charles Johnson is an all-timer. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters that has ever stepped foot in an octagon. He started his career as a bit of a journeyman, and you can see he's got 10 losses. That's not nothing. And only a few of them are like recent to super high-level opponents. A couple of those losses are early in his UFC career and was a bit of a journeyman, couldn't really put them together, and then he did put it together. And then he became the world champion. He was dropping people, submitting people. His jiu-jitsu is all-time dangerous to the point where he has the most amount of submission wins in UFC history. He's got phenomenal striking, great ground game. He even averages more than 2 takedowns per fight. Charles Oliveira is a very dangerous guy, and we saw that when he already beat Michael Chandler. Even in his last fight, when Arman Tsarukyan took him down, he had Arman Tsarukyan in the guillotine real tight. I had Arman Tsarukyan in the safety parlay, and I was sweating that. And he's taking on Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's a very good wrestler, wrestled in college. Michael Chandler's also a very fun fighter. He's got real one-punch knockout power in his hands. He's got great pressure. He is not afraid to get into a fist fight. He has no kicks whatsoever. Sometimes he'll wrestle, sometimes he won't. He has some of the greatest fights of all time. If you have never seen Michael Chandler fight Eddie Alvarez, go watch them. They fought a couple of times, and both of them are all-timers. Michael Chandler, at this point in his career, is a fun guy. He comes out here, he puts on a show, he understands how he's going to get famous and how he's going to get paid and how he's going to do all those things. But he did just wait 2 years for Conor McGregor. And he was this close. It was booked. He was this close to a retirement payday, and Conor McGregor broke his pinky toe.
And I tried to tell you, I sat there and I tried to tell you forever that they were never going to fight.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, the narrative this week, not just from me, even though I put out the first video in this space on Sunday mornings, bright and early. Subscribe so you can see UFC China, bright and early, Sunday morning. But the narrative this week is if Michael Chandler fights smart, he can win this fight. And that is possible. We just watched Arman Tsarukyan win this fight in a very straightforward way that Michael Chandler potentially could. Head down, wrestle, stay safe. Problem is, you can't trust Michael Chandler to do that. A, he hasn't fought in 2 years. B, he's a fun guy. He puts on a show at every fight. He's also a little bit chinny. We watched him get subbed already. We watched him get knocked out. We've seen him lose this fight already. And I think he loses it again. With that being said, the pictures of him, this dude is in shape. The best shape of his entire career. He looks absolutely spectacular. And he might be at a point where he's like, I'm 37. I need to, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it now. So I am picking Charles Oliveira literally because we've seen this fight and he's been more active. But it's a little nerve-wracking, and I will probably be rooting for Michael Chandler. I love Michael Chandler, and and people are going to hate this, and they hated it when I picked Arman. I'm a bit of a Charles Oliveira doubter. Not a hater, but a doubter. What do you think, Jakey boy? Who are you picking?
Do Bronx. I don't know how Chandler wins this fight. Maybe that first fight, the way that he was able to chin Charles, because Charles would get dropped, but you never really see him get put out, right? We saw that he was able to survive even when he got dropped. If you blitz in, you're going to get hurt. If you take him to the ground, you're going to be in trouble. Charles has got his own takedowns. Chandler has shown that as good a shape as he can be in, sometimes the gas tank doesn't hold up because when you're getting punched in the face, the explosions that he tries to make, is he going to stand on the outside and outpoint Charles Oliveira? No, not going to fucking do that. That's just not his style. He wants to be explosive. He wants to be in. He wants to be out. He wants to throw the big shots. If you play smart, it's going to be big takedowns, and he's going to get in trouble with the grappling. I love Charles Oliveira. I think Michael Chandler coming 2 years, it's going to be a coiled fucking snake in there. Madison Square Garden. I don't care what game plan he thinks he's going to have. He's going to fucking get in there, charge across, try to land a big shot on Charles Oliveira, probably get countered. Or if he gets taken down, he might get swept or get in trouble on the ground. So I'm all over Charles Oliveira here. I just don't think Michael Chandler, that style got him that Conor McGregor fight. It's a shame that he didn't get that payday. I don't think it's ever going to happen for him now. And this could be the end for him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I do think he can win this fight. I absolutely think he... Well, you just said he can knock him out. He could also out-wrestle him and just stay safe.
He's not going to out-wrestle him and stay safe. I said there might be a chance where he can knock him out, but he already landed the shot and it didn't work in the first one. So how else does he win? You think he can outpoint Charles Oliveira for 5 rounds?
He can knock him out. People's chins don't last forever. We just watched Max Holloway get knocked out. Charles Oliveira gets dropped all the time. Listen, I'm picking Oliveira, but my plea to people in the Quick Picks video was, don't go crazy parlaying Charles Oliveira 10 times over thinking it's free money because you've seen this fight.
Billy.
Angie's safe. $9,000 in DraftKings Fantasy. Well, he was worth that price last time they fought. And yes, it is 2 years, or Michael Chandler's 2 years removed from his last fight, so he should be rusty. So it should be Charles Oliveira. And if you want to throw him in your DraftKings lineup, you may have some success. If you think Michael Chandler's a very live underdog, I'll tell you right now, you need a little bit of exposure. You need a couple of big-time, large field tournament entries with a little bit of Michael Chandler in there because, dude, I don't think it's great. Like, I don't think it's crazy. If you want
losing lineups, listen to Angelo.
I don't think it's crazy. Also, people are saying, how is he going to make 155? He's always made 155. He's a 155-pounder. I don't understand this question, Mateo. Casual. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's freaking $10 for an entire month. A month. Let's go out the year with a bang. We're on an all-time heater right now. Let's run this streak through the rest of the year. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.